Hello everyone, it is July 25th, Thursday, and it's 100 degrees outside, so I haven't been outside yet today, and I need to go outside pretty soon, and I keep waiting for it to cool off, but hasn't done that yet. So anyhow, I have been redeeming the time indoors and making stuff. Excuse me, I just have to clear my throat a bit. Anyhow, I've had a big project I've been working on this month that was not gardening or crochet, but I had to put that project aside because I have a niece-in-law who is having a baby any day now, and I have been putting off making baby stuff for her. So I finally pulled out my chenille, because that's what I had bought that skinny chenille for in the first place, was to make her baby blanket. And I will talk about that chenille in just a moment. So this is the colorway that I used of Sknny chenille, and it is called Toucan Multi. And I also used the white, which is called Swan. And I have some yellow. I don't know what the official name for it is. Those are the only three colors that I had. So I made a baby blanket. So here you can see it. I put a white border on it, and so that is that. And I thought, well, I should make a hat to go with it. Now, I should tell you that my forays into baby hat making in the past have not been great. I tend to make them not deep enough, or they're not big enough, or something. And so I just kind of have given up, because I don't have any real way to know how big to make it. Even using patterns online, it's just not working for me. So hopefully this one would be right. I asked Siri what is the average circumference of a newborn's head, and Siri came back with something that said 13 to 14 inches. So I made this little white hat. And it has a shell border with that same Toucan Multi. It's all chenille. And then I thought, maybe I should make the baby a toy. Now I'm still thinking of making baby booties, but I need to find a pattern that uses number 4 yarn. So far I haven't found it. If you look up baby booties on YouTube patterns, you'll come across some woman who sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire. So yeah, but she uses like a fingering weight yarn. Anyhow, so previously I mentioned that I was working on these guys here, and I had shown this one in the last video, but I went ahead and made the rabbit. And here he is. And I thought, well, I've got a lot of white chenille. I'll just make a rabbit for the baby. And normally I work with a 3mm hook to make my amigurumi. But I tried even going to a 4mm with this chenille, and I could not see what I was doing. So I went to a 5.5, and so the stitches are a little gappy, but this thing, I made another bunny, and I just made a little sleepy bunny, same pattern, but you can see the difference between a 5.5 and a 3mm. So and he's just real squishy. And there's nothing on here that will be unkind for a newborn. You know, no safety eyes or anything. So now I'm thinking I will make maybe a couple more hats. If I can find a booty pattern, I will make that. But there's another small child in that house, and so I feel like I should send something for him. And so I'll try to make something for him. Because, you know, little kids do not understand when somebody else is getting a ton of presents and they're getting nothing. So I'll include something for him. I've got this one crochet book that has a helicopter pattern in it, and I've made that a few times, but I haven't made it for several years. But maybe I'll just make him that little helicopter. Anyways, I will take a picture of it before I send it off, and then it'll be in the next video. So let's talk about this Sknny chenille. Now this is by Loops and Threads, and this is my first time working with any chenille, and I'm a number 4 yarn kind of person, so I don't have any of that bulkier chenille. Now I did not have much issue, well really no issue at all, with the yarn fraying and having little bits of the chenille fluff going places. You do have to be very careful when you're working with it and weaving in your ends that you weave very gently, because too much weaving will fray it. And hopefully these pieces that I have made will stay together, because that was a lesson that I learned the hard way. Now, that being said, I went through 1.5 skeins of this toucan. And the first skein I didn't have any problems with. The second skein, I had the worst case of yarn barf ever. I mean, the whole thing just, I could not find that center, and it was just yarn barf on top of yarn barf. Took me a half hour to get it rewounded to cakes. I had to cut the yarn at one point because it was so tangled. And then I ended up with 3 little skeins, so I guess I cut it twice. This is what I have left. So that was not the only time I had yarn barf. Now I opened this white skein yesterday, no problem finding the center, but every now and then out comes more yarn barf, and it's just a yarn barfy yarn. So just know that if you go for this Sknny chenille, which is a nice soft, really soft yarn, that there's yarn barf issues. I don't know why. Pulling from the center ought to be real smooth and easy, but even when you get a center pull, you can still pull out yarn barf. Anyways, that's my review of Sknny chenille. Will I buy more of it? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I really just bought this for the baby blanket. I still, like I said, have a whole skein of yellow that I haven't even touched. But in this toucan multi, which kind of looks red, white, and blue, but there is a little tinge of yellow in there on occasion. You can't really see it unless you really look for it. But I thought, well, maybe I'll make a yellow hat anyways. So we'll see. I just hope this baby hat fits. I made some for a niece a few years ago, and I just didn't get the hats deep enough. And so they just barely covered the top of her ears. I don't know. I wrote down what I did for this one, and I will ask the mom to send me pics of the baby in it so that I can see if I need to make any adjustments for future baby hats. So anyways, that's what I've been working on for crochet. Oh, and I am still going to make more dolls, but I haven't really gotten to them yet. However, I have 2 hair pieces. So here's a blonde one, and here's another purple one. I did send 2 of my dolls recently to Rose Likes Crochet for her charity work. And I also sent her 2 washcloths with the only skein of cotton that I had. And that skein was given to me. I have never bought cotton. But with this blonde hairpiece, I think I might just try to make a truly scrumptious version of that doll. You know, based on the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is my all-time favorite movie. So, but I need to go to Joann's, get some lace, try to figure out how to make one of her outfits into an outfit for the doll. So anyhow, that's kind of what's going on here as far as crochet. As far as my garden goes, I pulled up all my tomato plants. We had, or still have, some sort of critter that's coming in, ate all the tomatoes. I only had 3 tomato plants. Ate all my blueberries, ate my dwarf nectarines. I can't tell if he's eating the strawberries yet because the strawberries aren't really developing in this heat. Yeah, don't know. The fruit trees the citrus fruit trees are doing okay. The critter doesn't seem interested in those. So really the only thing I'm growing right now is kale, which even though I have given away so much and just broken off the branches or the leaves right at the stalk where I broke them off, new leaves are coming out. So it's like kale will not die. So, and it loves the heat. Anyhow, so that's my gardening. It's just trying to keep it alive with the watering, which I pretty much have to do every day in this heat. And if it gets over, well, if it gets over, say, 105, then I will probably water twice a day. And I do live out in the San Fernando Valley, and it can get over 110, although we haven't had any days like that yet, but those could be coming. So anyhow, I don't want to ramble on too much, but I did want to just put out this little video, let you know what I'm working on. And I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.